Yo, I don't know what the fuck happened. And I'm praying it doesn't happen again, man. Oh my God. Oh my God. What was that, bruh? Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I'm so sorry, y'all. I had a solid amount of people watching and everything. I don't know what happened, bro. Chat. I'm so sorry. I pray this doesn't happen again, but I just pray it doesn't happen again, y'all. I'm sorry about that, y'all. I really am. Um, we had a good amount of people in here too, bruh. Fuck. Fuck. Yeah, I'm back. I mean, I'm not just gonna leave. I'm not gonna give up. You feel me? So sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Uh, man, man, I had a lot of people watching too. We had like almost 60. We had like 60 people in here at one point. Uh, chat. I'm sure y'all want me to keep going, right? Y'all don't want me to quit. Y'all don't want me to quit. Yo, chat. So sorry about that. Disconnect. Just letting people know I'm back. We had a good amount of people in here. That actually just it made me mad, but hey, it is what it is, right? Shit happens. Um, I don't remember what was. Oh yeah, I was talking about the tag match. As you guys can see on the screen. So sorry about, like I said, once again, sorry about the technical difficulties. Let's just pick up where I left off. So, like I said, I think Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, to give them the tag titles for SmackDown, I think it's a perfect decision. Eventually, they will break up. They've even been teasing the dissension. If you guys remember on the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in Australia, Theory took those bumps for it. He took the stomp and he took the crossroads from Cody and Seth. And Grayson Waller didn't help him. He just stepped aside and said, hey, go ahead. Right. And Theory called him out about that on SmackDown. Right. And they've been having a little, if you've been paying attention, just little teases about them breaking up. And it looked like maybe they were going to set up for a potential match at WrestleMania. But I was like, man, they haven't really leaned into the teases enough for me to really buy into that. So I think putting the tag titles on them and then eventually having that descent lead to them losing the tag titles, I think that's a good thing. Now, the only thing I don't like about that, though, is that you're just putting the titles on them to lead to them breaking up. And usually when that happens, it's not a long reign. Kind of like how when Ronda and Shayna Baszler got the tag titles and it just led to them breaking up. You know what I'm saying? So it could create a nice little moment where they do break up, but I don't want the tag titles to just fade back into being a device and not really much of an actual championship. And I think the Judgment Day, they had a great run with those tag titles. So like I said, I'm happy they put the titles on them, but take them legitimately serious. Give them a legit run with the titles. Give them a legit run with those titles. But after they grabbed the titles, New Catch Republic gave Grayson Waller a power bomb off the ladders through a table. It was crazy spot right there for Grayson Waller to take. And it's crazy because he was actually holding one of the SmackDown titles on his shoulder while they gave him that power bomb. Uh, they also did a spot where I kid you not, right? They got the tables because Philly get the tables. So they set up the tables after the "We Want Tables" chant. The New Day, I believe. Then Kofi did a trust fall off the ladder on the people outside. And then we got a crazy, and I mean insanely crazy, tornado DDT from Johnny Gargano over the top rope through the table onto Tyler Bate. Just a sick, crazy spot, man. I love that spot. Then Ciampa had a dropping move off the top of the ladder. Picked up I think it was Theory on his back and gave him a drop move onto the mat. It was crazy. Off the top of the ladder. Crazy back-to-back spots. So yeah, and then JD McDonough. Of course, you just knew this weasel punk ass nigga was gonna show up on the show somehow, some way. And he did it. He got involved. He put a ladder in the ring, and he was basically picking Finn Balor up on the other side of the ladder to get up to the top of the ladder, right? He's picking him up. He's like, yo, come on, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And lo and behold, he doesn't do it in time. The New Day gets involved. They hit Finn Balor and JD with the chair while they're on the ladder. And the New Day pushed JD off the ladder onto the tables outside. That was a sick bump. Tough bump right there. But then Damian Priest gets involved into the ring and attacks both the New Day. He gave what's it called? He gave, I think, Xavier off the top of the ladder a South of Heaven chokeslam that didn't really look that good. Or no, it wasn't. That's a different spot. I'm tripping. Then not bad. I'm tripping. That was a different spot. But he then gets he attacks the New Day. He gives Kofi the Razor's Edge outside onto a chair, actually the same chair they used to attack JD McDonough. So this is a weird spot right here. I kid you not. But Damian Priest was climbing to the top rope, the top of the ladder. And before he climbs, you can see, I don't remember, I think it was Rebecca Carr or Jessica Carr, the white shorty that's the referee. She like grabs his feet, kind of like to let him know, hey, stop, like don't do it. And you can see Damian Priest, he just looks back like, man, leave me the fuck alone. So he he climbs to the top of the ladder anyway. And as he's climbing to the top of the ladder, I kid you not, the Miz gets he climbs the other side, but when the Miz is climbing, you can see the bottom of the ladder. It's like bent. It's bent. Like clearly the legs of the ladder are not holding up the Miz, and it's looking like it's just gonna straight up break, which could have been really scary. And I think that's what Jessica Carr was trying to tell Damian Priest, but he just didn't care. But it's crazy too, because I think because the ladder was breaking beneath them and they didn't know, that's when Damian Priest tried to go for the South of Heaven, like the chokeslam off the top of the ladder, but it didn't work well. I think it was because of the ladder, or maybe they just didn't execute the move well. Could have been a combo of both. But, you know, the Miz is out the equation after that failed spot. It didn't look good. I won't lie. It did not look good at all. But, I mean, hey, the show must go on, right? So they continued. Priest thankfully threw that ladder out the ring. R-Truth tries to get a new one in. Damian Priest kicks him out, and Damian Priest takes the ladder from him, sets it up. R-Truth then gets into the ring and gives Damian Priest an AA out the ring. I said it. I told you guys that if Awesome Truth win this match, it has to end with Truth getting some level of revenge on Damian Priest, and that's exactly what happened. He got his revenge on Damian Priest by being the one to eliminate Damian Priest from the match in order for him to go up to the top rope, or not top rope, top of the ladder. You know, he conquers his fear of heights, as we know, and he unhooks the titles from the top, at least the Raw tag titles from the top, and the crowd popped. The crowd popped for R-Truth, and I was happy too. It was a great moment. It was a nice moment. You could see Truth and Miz up on the top of the ladder. Truth was, you know, he was a little emotional, right? Because, I mean, this is a genuine moment for R-Truth at WrestleMania. I cannot think of a legitimate R-Truth WrestleMania moment. So serious. I cannot think of one moment from R-Truth at WrestleMania. I'm sure he's been in matches. I don't know if he's won any matches. This might be his first actual win, honestly. So it was nice to see R-Truth get this moment after years in that company. He was actually hurt for a while, and then he came back and did the Judgment Day thing. And they kept it going. Damian Priest encouraged him. He's like, yo, let's keep this going. And now it's built to this great moment for R-Truth. He gets to come up and takes those tag titles off the Judgment Day. Now, does this then set up Damian Priest cashing in tomorrow? Shit, we'll see, right? Because they got those tag titles off Damian Priest, And now there's really nothing stopping him from cashing in. I mean, I'm sure they're going to try to go back after those tag titles, but who knows, right? I think Damian Priest cashing in is going to probably lead to the breakup of that group, right? They're going to be happy at first, but they're going to be like, yo, you forgot about these tag titles, and we'll see how things go from there. But yeah, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, your new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and the Raw Tag Team Champions, R-Truth and The Miz. Now, how I feel about the breakup of those tag titles. Give me 1 second. My bad, y'all. I had to get my blanket. My legs are so cold. They're so cold. But how I feel about the breakup of those tag titles, I'm not really too happy about it, honestly, because, oh man, my bad. But the reason is because I just feel like there's no need to break up those tag titles, man. I still do think that tag division it's a little weak. It's a little weak. I mean, even if you look at this tag match, right? Truth and Miz are not a real tag team. I know they were a tag team back then, right? The Awesome Truth. They kind of gelled a little well, but they're not a legit tag team like a DIY or a Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, or the New Day. Those are legitimate tag teams, and they're a makeshift team. Grayson Waller and Theory, we all know they're set up to break up. The two teams that are the tag champions right now are teams that we know are going to break up at some point. And maybe even in the near future. This year, they will be breaking up. I promise you. Hell, I'll even say this. Maybe by the end of the summer, both of these teams will be broken up. I'm telling you, especially Grayson Waller and Theory, right? And sure, you could say that about DIY and New Catch Republic and Judgment Day. Those are teams that are probably going to be breaking up. And that's my point. A lot of these teams, I would actually say that's crazy, right? All these teams in this match, outside of the New Day, by the end of this year, could be broken up. Because they all are really single stars that are trying to make it work as a tag team, whether they were tag teams in the past or by nature of the stories they were in. Right? New Catch Republic, that's a legitimate team, but we all know in the future they will break up. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, they're going to do more as single stars than as a tag team. And if not, then you're severely underutilizing them. Grayson Waller and Theory, same thing. They will break up. Judgment Day, we all know they're just due for a breakup at some point. And DIY, they probably have the safest bet to stay together out of those 5 teams I just said. But in reality, all paths lead to them doing some type of turn on one or the other, right? You can replicate that NXT moment that they did. That great angle at the end of the takeover show they did where I believe it was, Tommaso Ciampa turning on Johnny Gargano. They could replicate that same angle or go the other way. I don't think they will go the other way. I think it'll be Ciampa because Ciampa's an amazing heel. But my point is, man, I just don't see how deep this tag team division is. And even then, DIY is getting over, but they're not quite like a guaranteed over team yet. They're over, but not enough yet. And even then, this win could have put them over the top, but they didn't win. They lost. Grayson Waller and Theory, they're over as heels, right? But like I said, they'll be breaking up soon. New Catch Republic, they're not really over yet. Awesome Truth, in all actuality, they're not meant to hold those titles forever. Let's be serious. And then the New Day, they're established for sure, but we've gone to that well so many times. Had to drink some juice there. But regardless, I don't know, man. I don't know what the path is for a lot of these teams after this. I just don't know what the path is. And maybe, you got Legado del Fantasma, but they're not too over it. The LWO, all they do is lose. Right? And I'm not talking about Ray and Carlito. I'm talking about Cruz del Toro. Like they lose. That's all they do. Right? And then you got the Creed brothers who I like, but they still need a couple more legitimate developed teams. I really do think so. They need a deeper roster in order to have 2 sets of tag titles. I like the idea of 1 set of tag champions and they float. And sure, you could say, oh, Judgment Day wasn't really on SmackDown that often. Well, if you look at SmackDown, it's a pretty heel-heavy tag team roster, to be honest with you. Most of these teams on this show are all baby faces, right? But they're all from Raw for the most part. I think Grayson Waller and Theory are the only, and New Catch Republic. Those are the only two tag teams from SmackDown. The SmackDown division of as far as tag teams is kind of lacking. Even the Creed brothers, they're on Raw. So, yeah, like I said, I'm not a big fan of splitting up the tag titles. Personally speaking, I'm just not. I don't think the division is deep enough for it. But at the end of the day, this was a good match. I liked it. I enjoyed it, and I was entertained. And I'm intrigued to see where they go going forward. Not only for DIY, because I think they're going to eventually get those Raw tag titles. I'm intrigued to see what they do with Grayson Waller in Theory, and obviously the Judgment Day. So, yeah, that's that. But next, the match on the card coming up, we had Andrade CN. Well, I guess it's just Andrade now, right? Andrade, Santos Escobar, Andrade and Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. Deadbeat dad versus spoiled son. Andrade and Santos, who, whatever. This match was kind of boring. I'll be honest with you. I mean, it had some decent spots, and the ending I thought was cool, but overall, the work was solid. It was decent. It was a decent match. Nothing really special, but I thought the closing angle, I should say, was cool. I thought the closing angle was cool. The closing angle was solid. Now, let me say this, because I don't know what the fuck happened to Dragon Lee. I don't know why they changed the match on a dime like that. And maybe it worked out for the better, who knows? But let me say this about Dragon Lee. I'm getting to the point where I feel like they've kind of given up on Dragon Lee. Seriously. I really do believe they've just given up on Dragon Lee, and maybe they're not. Maybe they're just trying to take their time with him. Maybe they want to send him down to NXT for all we know. But my thing is, why even put him in the match? Why even put him in the match? Seriously. Dragon Lee was supposed to be in this match as Rey Mysterio's tag partner, and they just changed. Oh shit. Fuck, my bad, y'all. But they just changed it just out of nowhere. I don't know what that was about. And Dragon Lee, they were pushing him for a minute. And then all of a sudden they just start taking him off TV. On top of that, he loses a couple of matches. And I just don't know what that's about. Maybe he pissed somebody off. I don't know. But if he pissed somebody off, you'd think they wouldn't put him in this match in the first place. I don't know. I don't know what that was about. I don't know why they've kind of halted the Dragon Lee push. This was a good spot for him to be in. And I don't know. They just took it away from him. They took it away. And I like Andrade. I figured they were going to go with him at first because they just brought him back. It would be a nice little swerve on Dominic and the Judgment Day. But they didn't. They put Dragon Lee in it, and then they just took him out, seemingly for no reason. So, yeah, I don't know what that was about. But, yeah, the match as a whole, though, like I said, it was decent. It was decent. They started off with a nice little spot of Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio doing a double stacked cross body with Rey on his shoulders, or at least on Andrade's shoulders, and he jumped off the top ropes onto Dominic and Santos on the outside. That was cool. They both had their squads on both sides of the ring. So, hey, everybody got on the card. LWO got on the card, and El Gato del Fantasma, they got on the card. Andrade hit the dragon screw leg whips. He hit his moonsault off the top rope into another moonsault, right? That was cool. They missed a couple of moves, but, the camera did a good job. Fast forward a little bit, we had Elektra Lopez get involved, and Zelina Vega thwarted her with a moonsault off the top rope. And I don't know if she got all of it. I think they even said she didn't get all of it, right? Because, they always got to throw that line in there. But it looked like she almost landed on her face. Like, it looked like Elektra Lopez wasn't in the right positioning. She tried to move up a little bit, so she caught her legs. But when you catch her legs, that momentum leads her face or the top half of her body to just hit the floor. It looked like that was a really painful spot. But Zelina, she ate that shit. She got right up and kept it moving. But yeah, that was that. So then they also did the slingshot with, I believe it was Cruz del Toro, or was it Joaquin? It was one of them. They slung him like, what was it, like 20, 25 yards towards the entrance on Humberto and Angel Garza. That was cool. It's always nice to see that move done. The guy gets insane airtime and length on that move. Pause. But fast forward a little bit. Dominic tries to get involved, tries to cheat, and we then get Jason Kelsey or actually, I'm sorry, I'm spoiling, but you guys saw the show. We get these two masked men come out the crowd. And at first, I was like, I had no idea. I was like, who the fuck are these guys, right? It made more sense for the heels to do this, but the babyface, I was like, oh, okay, I'm just confused, right? Like who the fuck could this be? But they throw Dominic back in the ring. Rey Mysterio hits a double 619 on Dom and Santos. He hits the drop on Santos Escobar, and he gets the pin. So Rey Mysterio and Andrade beat Santos and Dominic in a pretty unmemorable, I should say, WrestleMania match. But I guess the spot afterwards was cool. So basically, I kid you not, the masked men revealed themselves. Like I said earlier, it was Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson of the Philadelphia Eagles. That was cool. That was nice to see. Nice little cameo. They got a little pop. They got a nice little reaction from the crowd. So that was nice to see. But I'll admit, I do think the wrong team went over here. I think Santos and Dom, I don't understand why they didn't get the win. Maybe they just didn't want Andrade to lose in his first big match, especially on a WrestleMania. But I just don't like the idea of, and granted, Rey didn't pin Dom, but I don't like the idea of, we're basically doing a Rey versus Dom part 2 of the story, and Rey gets the upper hand again, right? I would have just thought it would be smart to go to Dom beating Rey and actually even pinning Rey. So now this nigga is 0-2 against his dad at WrestleMania. Yeah. I wonder if this was even originally planned for the card, because this came out of nowhere. Like Dominic joining the Santos and feud, that came out of nowhere. I thought originally we were building towards Santos and Rey, but maybe because Andrade got involved and he came back to the company, maybe that led to them saying, hey, let's do a tag match with y'all. But then they threw Dragon Lee in there. This whole feud just felt discombobulated all over the place. First it was Santos and Rey, then Dominic got involved, then they made it Dragon Lee and Rey versus Dominic and Santos. Cool, Dragon Lee's been kind of involved, and then they just replaced Dragon Lee with Andrade. Now, what I do like from this is that Andrade is now paired not only with the LWO, but with Zelina. That is the pairing that if you're going to launch Andrade to a main event level, he needs to be with the mouthpiece, because let's be real, he's not that great of a talker. And I think him with Zelina, that was a money pairing in heaven. That was a match in heaven when they were teamed up as a duo. So that's the only positive I can say that came out of this feud. The match, pretty decent, average. This was a SmackDown match, basically. The only difference is you had a nice angle at the end with Lane Johnson and Jason Kelsey. So, yeah. Moving on to the next match, we have Jay versus Jimmy. Brother versus brother. Oh, man. Where do I even begin? Holy shit. This was the worst thing on the show. And I really, really, really hate to say it. I really, really do. But this was the worst thing on the fucking show, man. This was a bad match. This was a bad match. Holy shit. Like, I'm telling y'all, if the Usos and the Young Bucks ever had a tag match, which I think they've even expressed interest, or at least I've heard the Usos for sure say they want to wrestle the Young Bucks. But if they ever had a tag match, holy fuck, it would just be the most super kicks ever. I don't know why there wasn't a stipulation involved, because both these guys have similar, if not identical, move sets, skill sets, and they're putting them in a normal, regular, standard wrestling match. Not only was this a super kick fest, this was a snooze fest. This match was boring. This was a boring match, man. I would have gone with this as the opener, but Becky Lynch said that she wanted to be the opener. And I think that Drew and Seth will probably open up day 2, which makes sense, right? Seth closes the show at WrestleMania night 1, opens the show at WrestleMania night 2. So they were kind of stuck in a tough spot. But this was not a good match, man. We'll get into that in a second. But the match starts off with their entrances, and Jay gets a pretty nice entrance with Lil Wayne. They announced Lil Wayne as the greatest rapper of all time. Man. Really? I didn't know Kanye West was pulling up, right? With all his anti-Semitic shit going on. I didn't know he was pulling up. I didn't know Jay-Z was going to pull up, or Drake. Lil Wayne. Interesting. And I mean, I love Lil Wayne, right? I mean, great rapper, one of the greatest rappers of all time. When I was growing up, my favorite rapper, I said on Twitter, and some people got upset. I don't care, but he's not the GOAT. Okay, let's show some respect to Jay-Z. Let's put some respect on Jay-Z and Kanye's name. Hell, even Drake. I'm taking all 3 over him. Regardless, though, yeah, he comes out to the ring. Jimmy comes out to the ring, and before the match even starts, Jay attacks Jimmy. He attacks Jimmy, and you know, he throws him all over the place through barricades, on top of the table, and yeah. It was just after that, the back and forth. I'm not gonna lie, it was just super kicks, super kick city, and like it was super kicks where Jay would super kick, pause. Jimmy would super kick, and I don't mean pause in like I didn't say anything gay, but they would literally pause. Another super kick, pause. Another super kick, pause, and like. Why the fuck are you letting someone just kick right underneath your chin like that? It was just so stupid. And, you know, they even hit a super kick where, you know, someone comes off the top rope, super kick. You know, it was just super kick syndrome. I wish I could tell you there was something else, but it wasn't. It wasn't. Man, just bad. But yeah. Jay, you know, he gets a little comeback in and everything. They even did some, Lil Trey, you're right. They did some insecurities as well. But it was just kick after kick after kick after kick. It was just whack. It was whack. But I will say there was a nice spot in the match where Jay went for a super kick on Jimmy. And before he could hit the super kick, Jimmy like kind of puts his hand up like, yo, chill, please chill. Right? Because he's already hit him with a fucking flurry of them. Right? And Jay's stupid ass stopped. He fell for it. Yeah, he fell for it. But obviously it was a fucking ruse. Everyone in the crowd was saying don't fall for that shit, and Jay still fell for it with like an idiot, dumb babyface. I swear babyfaces are like the stupidest people in the history of wrestling, right? It's got the babyface is always the dumb one. Like it's always the babyface that has to be a fucking idiot. It always has to be the babyface. But regardless, Jimmy goes up to the top rope after he hits another super kick, right? And he goes for a splash onto Jay. And I thought that was it. Honestly, I thought that was it. Y'all know I predicted Jimmy to win this match. But no, that wasn't it. Jay kicks out. Wow. That was probably the best part. That was the best part of the match. That was it, really. After that, Jay goes for, I believe, like not a senton, but he goes for like the diving, I don't know, the fucking move that he does in the corner. I can't remember what it's called. But while he's going for it, Jay then hits Jimmy with a spear. And by the way, Jay has got to stop doing that spear. He does not hit that spear with any real impact at all. It almost reminds me of Edge's spear. But at least Edge, because he hugged, it looked like there was some little impact. Jimmy doesn't even do that. It's like he's just, I don't even know what to fucking call it. It's like he's just barely throwing himself into him. And like sometimes he'll like clap the back of them so that way you can hear the sound. But like it was just whack. It was just a whack spear. He's got to stop doing that spear. It has no impact at all. But he hits the spear, and then like he hits a rotating frog splash off the top rope, and this was bad. Like this was bad. This was not a good match. The same move over and over. This felt like watching, I don't even want to say the Young Bucks. That's actually insulting because I want to say 95% of this match was the same move over and over again. I'm not even joking. Go back, rewatch it. Literally over 90% of this match was a super kick or enziguri. And the dead crowd, I think this is when like, I mean, I already kind of knew the crowd was a little dead, right? Like, but at least for the other matches leading up to this, they popped at some points, right? Like I said, the Rhea and Becky match, they came alive for that one, at least at the end. The 6-pack tag match, they popped for the spots, and they popped for R-Truth. Rey Mysterio and the Dom match, the tag match, they popped for the ending at least, right? Because you had Lane Johnson and Jason Kelsey come out. I don't remember the crowd getting up for any of this. Other than maybe the entrance for Jay, I don't remember the crowd getting up for anything in this fucking match. They kind of reacted to the whole Jimmy holding his hand up, right? They were like, oh, no, Jay, no, Jay. But they didn't react to anything else. I mean, I guess you could say the yeet, no yeet when they were going back and forth doing the boo, yay punches. They, instead of saying boo, yay, they were saying yeet, no yeet, no yeet. I mean, that was decent, right? But they didn't pop for any. They didn't even. I don't even remember them popping big for the finish. It was just, it was boring. It was a straight up boring ass match. And this is the kind of match that needed a stipulation, right? If you're gonna do a fucking stipulation match, this was it. They could have used like a no DQ match or a falls count anywhere match, you know, or maybe even an I quit match. I don't know. I mean, maybe you want to save that for like a blow off, and I'm sure they're gonna do a blow off feud or match. They're gonna do a blow off match. They're probably gonna do a second match, and just like that, we're gonna have to get another match of them doing a bunch of super kicks. At least though, hopefully someone has the fucking sense to say, hey, you know what? Instead of sending them out there to do a bunch of super kicks and enziguris, let's actually put them in a stipulation match, because I don't think they're going to fare well in that environment. I just hope someone has the sense to watch the match we saw and understand that. And I was a little disappointed. Even Jimmy and Jay have to take some blame on this too, because they wanted this match. This is a match that they've been saying for years is like a dream match for them. This is a dream match for them. So yeah, this was not good. This was not good. But moving on to the next match, which was kind of an angle. This match didn't go too long. Almost felt like I was watching the Diva matches, but obviously it's not that bad. But we had Damage Control of Asuka, Kairi, and Dakota versus Jade, Naomi, and Bianca Belair. Jade Cargill, her first in-ring match. I mean, I know the Royal Rumble was there, but this is her first actual match. Not a singles match, but a tag team match. I thought this was a good idea. It would have her come in and get the hot tag, you know, do a couple spots, and that's exactly what this was. Unfortunately to the Asuka fans, despite her having a great entrance with Damage Control, that was a really nice entrance. They both had fire entrances. We'll get to the Jade and Bianca match, or not match, but the Jade and Bianca and Naomi entrance. But yeah, this was a good entrance, even for Damage Control. They had a nice little entrance. All of them had some nice outfits. Dakota, Kairi, Asuka, Bianca, Jade, Naomi. They all had some great entrances, great outfits, everything. On point presentation from both, all six of these ladies. But then Jade, Bianca, and Naomi come out. And I kid you not, they had a great entrance, an amazing entrance. Let me see if I could even pull it up for you guys, because Not only did they have a great entrance, but man, these three, they look like they could be one of the best like trios of wrestlers that like we've ever seen, seriously. And I'm talking just like the presentation they have and what they can mean for this company. So here you go. I'm gonna put it on the screen right here. As you guys can see, that's when they entered the ring. Or not entered the ring, but that was them when they were coming down. They literally look like gods standing there. Now I don't know why Jade, maybe because the whole storm thing, right? But I don't know why she decided to then wear a different color. Maybe she didn't get the memo. Who knows? But they looked great. As you guys can see, here's some of their outfits. This is when they started. The aura was fucking ridiculous. It was fucking insane. I'm fast forwarding here. That's Jade with her outfit, as you guys can see. Here's Naomi with her outfit. She looked great as well. And then where's Bianca? I don't know why it's fucking taking forever to load. But Bianca had her outfit as well. If I'm not mistaken, I think Bianca makes her own outfit. That, as you can see, that's the entrance as a whole. I'm on the Twitter page trying to find this shit. But they had some great entrances. Here it is right here. Here's all of them. Straight up, they looked great. They looked amazing. Seriously, I think they're going to be a nice little faction if they want to make a faction with these three. I'm excited to see what they do with all three of them going forward. The matches they have, maybe together, apart, who knows? But I thought their aura was fucking insane. Seriously, fucking insane, honestly. But yeah, the match starts off with what's it called? It starts off with, I don't even know. I think it was Asuka and Naomi. They're going back and forth. They obviously damage control. They're in control of the match. The match didn't go too long, but Bianca then gets the hot tag to Bianca. Or no, Naomi gets the hot tag to Bianca. Bianca goes for, a couple of moves. Then damage control kind of takes over. And then Bianca tags in Jade. Right? I'm just skipping because this is what the match was for. Tags in Jade. And Jade looks good. She doesn't even rush in the ring. But as soon as she gets tagged in, her face shifts to a whole different vibe. Right? She gets in the ring, right? She just handles all three of these women, right? She hits clotheslines, she hits her kicks, and then Bianca even hits, I think it was Asuka with her ponytail, and then it's the KOD on Asuka, and then Jade gets Dakota up for the KOD, or not KOD, for the Glam Slam, and before she gets the Glam Slam, she walks around with Dakota, and then hits the Glam Slam. And then 1, 2, 3, she does her pin, and her pin looks great. Her pin looks great. The match as a whole, I mean, it wasn't really that good, but it wasn't really meant to be like a technical great match. This was just a match, and unfortunately for Asuka, right, she has to lose again at WrestleMania 0-6. But this was just a match that at the end of the day, they wanted to showcase Jade and protect her. That's all it was. They wanted to showcase Jade. They didn't want to put her in a singles match. That's a lot of pressure, right? To carry a whole match. She probably would have had to rehearse it or whatever. Been a hassle. Just drank my juice again. But they would have to rehearse it and do all that. So to avoid that, hey, come in, do a couple spots, hit the Glam Slam, get the pin, and you look like $1 million, which is exactly what they did. So I thought it was fine. It was good for what it was. It wasn't meant to go as anything more. Now, what they do going forward, yeah, kiss those tag titles goodbye. I think they're going to put those tag titles on a combo of Jade and Naomi or Jade and Bianca. I think obviously the smarter idea would be Jade and Bianca. I think those two, that is the direction. I keep saying this. That is the direction they need to go. It needs to be Jade and Naomi as a tag team. Maybe you could have them even be a faction. I don't care. But they got to do Jade and Naomi as a team with those tag titles and go ahead and eventually break them up. Let's be real. Let's be honest. They're not gonna be a tag team forever, but just have them before they break up run roughshod on that division, and maybe it's SummerSlam, maybe it's the Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, whatever it is. Eventually, you can put them up against each other. One can turn on the other. It's just that simple. One can turn on the other, and I think it'll be a great angle. It'll be a great feud, and it could kind of kickstart Jade's single career, because who better than to learn from than Bianca Belair and Naomi, right? Who better? Who better? I think it's a great idea. It protects Jade, and it gives Bianca something to do, because I don't know what's next for Bianca Belair. Honestly, I don't know what's next for her. I think working with Jade in the tag team could be good for both. Could be beneficial for both. It sets up Bianca for a program after they're done and they drop those titles. It keeps them preoccupied until then, and it gives Jade some more time to get better and develop. And if anything, those tag titles can give her an excuse to go to NXT, right? And also, Bianca, she needs to turn heel. I've been saying it over and over. She needs to turn heel. So go ahead and do that. Put those tag titles on them. Have them go on a monster run. Have Bianca turn on Jade, or, hey, maybe one or the other, right? Because Jade, she's also a natural heel too, but I think for now, book her as a babyface. The fans are into her. Build into that. And maybe if the fans start turning on Jade, or if you just feel like it's best to turn her heel instead of Bianca, go ahead and do so. Whichever option is best, make that option. Because Bianca, even though I think she's in need of a heel turn or some type of character change, she still goes out there and gets great reactions. She's obviously a great role model for the kids. The little girls love her. So I can't hate on that. Good juice. Moving on to the next match, though. Whew, man. Match of the night. I'm going to just tell y'all outright. Match of the fucking night. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Jesus. Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion, against Sami Zayn. Man. Remember, like, that time period where Vince McMahon changed his name from Walter to Gunther, and he told him to lose some weight? Look, obviously, fuck Vince McMahon. We don't got to fuck with that guy. But that was a good decision. That was a great decision. Gunther, the 666-day reign. Yeah, the 666 reign. Crazy coincidence. But he is the Intercontinental Champion. And this is the greatest run ever by an Intercontinental Championship. Or I should say Intercontinental Champion. It's the greatest run. There's no need to deny it. It's just the fact. He is the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. I mean, maybe you want to say he's not because he doesn't have the amount of Intercontinental Championships, but it's not about quantity, it's about quality. And Gunther consistently, night in, night out, goes out there and has matches of the night. And it was no different tonight. Gunther, back-to-back WrestleManias. This guy has stolen the fucking show. Back-to-back. He had an amazing match last year with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. That triple threat was sensational, right? And then he steals the show with Sami Zayn tonight. That was the best match on the fucking card. By far. Best match on the card. And I love the story going into it, because the Rocky, I think it was Rocky 3, Rocky 4, whichever it is, I thought they were leaning into it very well, right? You got Chad Gable training Sami Zayn, but I was thinking Rocky was Chad Gable and Apollo Creed was Sami Zayn, because I did not think Sami Zayn would win tonight, right? I didn't, and I always still maintain, and I still maintain today, right, even after the finish they did, that Chad Gable should have still won that fucking match. That was the better story. But I'm not going to take away from the match we saw tonight and how great Sami Zayn was and how the fans fucking reacted. And another thing also is that we all know that if Brock Lesnar is not in that Vince McMahon lawsuit, not involved in all that controversy, he gets this spot. Now, is it for the IC title? I don't know. I would have thought Chad Gable would have won the title beforehand, because Brock Lesnar not wrestling for no Intercontinental Championship. It's almost like that's beneath Brock Lesnar. No one's going to believe Brock Lesnar's winning the Intercontinental Championship. Unless it's a non-title match, which that's a waste of the IC title at WrestleMania. That's just weird. But, yeah, with that being the match, I was assuming that Gunther was either going to hold the title after that or maybe drop it before. And now I'm thinking that maybe Gunther was going to drop it beforehand. I don't know. Maybe he was going to drop it at that Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, but obviously that stuff happened with like his visa or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what the original plan was going to be. I don't know. And then I also thought they were going to lean into the idea of maybe Chad Gable is going to throw in the towel for Sami Zayn, because at the end of the match, Gunther was beating the holy shit out of Sami Zayn. But we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, this was a classic babyface versus like bully mean heel match. Classic old school. Both of these guys, complete opposites. Gunther, this towering heel, menacing foreign heel. Sami Zayn, this beloved underdog. Not the biggest, not the strongest, not the fastest, But yeah, I loved the psychology of this match. Sami Zayn, before the match started, he hugged his wife and his son backstage. He even told his daughter, not his daughter. He told his wife, "Don't bring my son to the ring. Let him stay back here. I don't want him to see this." And I was thinking, man, maybe this nigga's going to lose, right? Because that just shows he's going to lose. Why would you not want your son to be there if you think you're going to win, right? But he goes, and Chad Gable even confronts him. He's like, yo, like, you got this. And Sammy encourages him to come to the ring with him, and Chad's like, no, you need to do this on your own. And don't forget what you promised me after this match. Or not promised me, but he said, basically he insinuated I got next at that IC title. Right? And I would love to see Chad Gable eventually get that IC title. Chad Gable needs to win something. It's unfair how he's kind of been just shafted off in this feud. I understand he's kind of been involved, but Chad's got to get his moment at some point. But, let me not make this all about Chad Gable. Sammy then, the camera follows Sammy as he's going through, the curtains and everything backstage on his way to the ring. And who's right there before he gets to the last curtain? Kevin Owens. And as soon as I saw Kevin Owens and I saw him hype him up, I'm not going to lie, I knew it was probably over. I knew it was probably over. I was like, oh my God, Sami Zayn is probably going to win this fucking match. And I'm a little conflicted because, like I said, I wanted it to be Gable, and now I feel like they're going to just turn fucking Chad Gable heel. But whatever. Regardless, great match. Great match. Gunther comes out to the ring. It starts off with them both just looking at each other. He beats the shit out of Sami Zayn with a couple of chops, some clotheslines. The fans are coming alive for the match. Gunther hits some suplexes as well. Gunther goes outside and taunts Sami Zayn's wife. Taunted his wife, just like he did to Chad Gable and his kids. The roles were just so perfect. The psychology was perfect. Everything about this match was perfect. It was exactly what you needed for this match. And we know what these guys are capable of. They had a great match on Raw a couple of months ago when Sammy was still tag team champions with Kevin Owens. But Gunther then hits a couple of power bombs and clotheslines. He hits one power bomb, and then Gunther kicks out. Sammy kicks out. Sammy even hits a haluva kick, but Gunther kicks out of that. So they both have traded finishing moves. Then Gunther hits a power bomb, lifts him back up, double take after the first one, and hits another power bomb. So after he hits that power bomb, Gunther then just stares down Sami Zayn's wife and laughs. Stares down Sami Zayn's wife from the ring and laughs. Goes to the top rope and hits a splash. Doesn't even pin him. He's smiling. He loves it. He's looking at Sammy's wife again. He goes to the top rope, hits another splash. And I think he hits a third one. And then when he's going up for the fourth one, you see Sami Zayn. He's coming alive with the crowd, right? And before Gunther can even realize it, Sammy hits a haluva kick while Gunther's on the top rope going for his, I think, third or fourth body or crossbody splash or frog splash. And Sammy, man, it's been so long since I've seen this move. I thought they banned this move. But hey, Triple H regime, bring it back. Sammy hits Gunther with the brain buster on the rope. Brain buster on the right corner. That was crazy. Once he hit that brain buster, I was like, okay, Sammy's got to win. This is a fucking move that could kill you. You got to sell this shit. So Gunther goes to the other side of the ring, and Sammy hits a haluva kick. He gets that second win and hits the haluva kick in the corner. And Michael Cole had a great line where he said, "Do you believe in miracles?" And just like that, Sammy pinned Gunther and becomes the new Intercontinental Champion, ending the 666-day reign. I did not see this coming, bro. I did not see this coming, and this match was beautiful. This was an amazing match. An amazing match. An amazing match. One of the best matches in WrestleMania history, honestly. This match was the best match on the fucking card by far. By far. Sammy then goes to his wife and celebrates. And, you know, they have a nice little moment. But, man, this was amazing. It was amazing. And I actually thought the way they did this match, it kind of even protected Gunther because, yeah, Gunther lost clean, don't get me wrong. But he lost because he got too arrogant. He got too cocky. That's what happened. And that's what happens. You know, but look, these are my thoughts, right? I'm happy for Sami Zayn. I'm going to leave Chad Gable out of this. Forget that. This is a great moment for Sami Zayn. Okay? Sammy eventually will become the World Heavyweight Champion. I think that's going to happen at some point because that was a story they were building to for WrestleMania. I thought they were going to put him in the World Heavyweight Championship match. I thought they were going to make that a triple threat. But they didn't. And that's fine. But at some point, you know, he's going to have to get that world title. But now that Gunther's lost that title, the Intercontinental title, it's time for him to go after the World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, they can have their rematch, even though there's no rematch clause. Let's be real. It does still exist. They do it all the fucking time. Drew McIntyre, hell, he's having his fourth, fifth match with Seth Rollins? My goodness. So Sammy, I do believe, they'll have the rematch, and it'll probably be excellent again. But Gunther needs to go after that World Heavyweight Championship. When they revealed that World Heavyweight title, I said it. I was like, bro, that title has Gunther's name written all over it. Seriously, it feels like the IC title was just beneath him. Like he outgrew that shit months ago, honestly. So he made that IC title what it was. I mean, I was even seeing some people say Damian Priest should come in and cash in on Sami Zayn, which didn't make too much sense. Sami Zayn wasn't knocked out or anything. I mean, sure, he went through a grueling match, but he's okay. Okay, he's not dying in the ring. So I didn't really see the point of that. But yeah, this was an amazing match, and I'm intrigued to see. I'm intrigued to see. Hold on. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what the hell is gonna happen with this Intercontinental Championship, because my only thing, honestly, is I just don't want to see Chad Gable turn heel. I don't want to see it. The fans love Chad Gable. He's a great babyface. There's no need to turn this guy heel. There's no need for that, man. You don't got to turn him heel. So hopefully, you know, that's not what they do, but I'm a little afraid they will. Honestly, I'm a little afraid that's the direction they're heading in. I'm sure him and Sami Zayn will have some good matches, but at some point, though, one way or another, please put that IC title on Gable. But look, great moment for Sami Zayn. one of the all-time WrestleMania moments just for the fact that, hey, he broke Gunther. He beat Gunther's record, not record, but he ended the reign. He ended the reign. And Sami Zayn, he's not a bad choice to have do that. Whether you like Chad Gable or not and you wanted him to win it or not, Sami Zayn's one of the best they got in that company, one of the biggest stars in that company, one of the hardest workers in wrestling. And he deserves it. He deserves it. I'm not going to be mad about that. The next and final match of WrestleMania 40, The Rock and Roman Reigns of the Bloodline, the final boss and the head of the table, the tribal chief, versus the world heavyweight champion Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes in a tag team match. And the winner of this match determines the stipulation. If Cody and Seth win, the match tomorrow between Roman and Cody is a straight up standard wrestling match. But if The Rock and Roman win, the match tomorrow, Bloodline rules. We got a taste of Bloodline rules on Raw when they had that closing angle of, The Rock coming out, Roman coming out, Jimmy, Jay, all that chaos. So I knew when I saw that, I was like, yeah, we're going to get that Bloodline rules match one way or another. I mean, I knew that regardless. As you guys know, I predicted The Rock and Roman would win, and that's exactly what happened. Now, did it live up to all the hype? I think to a degree, yeah. Like I think the second half of the match was good. I think the match in general was good. This was a good match. I'll say that. The entrances were nice. Cody comes out, gets a nice reaction. Seth comes out. I don't know what the fuck that nigga Seth Rollins was wearing. He had like this yellow and blue-ish robe, but like he had like a blue hat on his, I kid you not, he had like a blue hat on his robe. It was like the weirdest shit. I can even put it on the screen right now, actually. Look at this shit. I don't know what this was with Seth Rollins, but man, this was so strange. What the hell? Why is it not showing? I see. Yeah, here it is. I don't know what this was. I don't know what this was about. Yeah, I don't know what he's wearing here. Yeah, I've never seen this before. It's like he had his hat stitched to his right shoulder. Never seen that before. Nigga's always wearing Becky's clothes, like Roman said. I swear they take turns wearing each other's clothes. I have never seen this before. And this is not drip, Seth. It's not drip. But yeah, they make their entrances, and then The Rock comes out, and The Rock, I can't even lie, amazing entrance. Now, he took like 1,000 years to get in the ring, but an amazing entrance, man. Amazing. The definition of aura was The Rock's entrance. The definition of aura. He comes out with, he has a nice little vest on, but he also pulls this out. Man, you talk about aura. That's The Rock right there. What a great entrance. But yeah. And I wonder if Roman and Cody are kind of saving like their better entrances for tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe we'll get the piano again for Roman Reigns. But yeah, they made their entrances. Samantha Irvin introduces them. Great announcing from Samantha Irvin. She is the best in the business right now. Seriously, she is. She's doing great. She looked great too. She looked amazing. The physique of Roman and The Rock compared to Cody and Seth was pretty noticeable. I'm not even gonna lie. But the match starts off and it was pretty slow. I mean, you had your spots where all four of them tagged in certain moments and the crowd reacted to it. The Rock finally got in. Cody got in. Cody and Roman. First it started with Seth and Roman. Then Cody wants to tag in, so you kind of got a little bit of a sneak peek of tomorrow between Cody and Roman. They lock up for a little bit. Then Cody tags in Seth, and The Rock comes in, and we get The Rock and Seth Rollins go back and forth for a little bit. But then they go and they brawl outside the ring. And when they go outside the ring, it's like Roman fighting Cody. They're like going up the ramp, and The Rock fighting Seth. They're like going into the crowd. But before The Rock and Seth go into the crowd, The Rock tells the ref, "Don't fucking count us out. You count us out, you lose your fucking job." Look at him swinging his weight around, throwing his weight around everywhere. So yeah, that was cool. But they're brawling in the arena, and then they eventually make their way back to the ring. Seth tries to get into the ring to fight The Rock, and Cody clips his knee. He clips his knee, and Rollins starts selling the knee. I swear Rollins has been selling that fucking knee his whole career. But then he gets his leg worked on by The Rock and Roman. Seth is selling the injury. He's probably going to have to sell it tomorrow for the match. That's probably going to be his out for losing to Drew McIntyre. Because yes, you guys know I predicted Drew McIntyre will win that match. But yeah, this was a good psychology with The Rock. He consistently kept threatening the ref. He was like, "Call a DQ. See what happens. See what happens." The Rock even gave Seth a low blow, and Cody got pissed about it. But the ref went up to Cody and was like, "Yo, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do." But The Rock and Roman, they were working like a real tag team here. But Seth kept getting worked on. He couldn't make the tag. Roman even pulled Cody off the ropes. But then while I think The Rock had Seth like in like a leg bar or a half crab, or maybe it might have been a sharpshooter, because The Rock did put a sharpshooter on one of them at some point. He loves that sharpshooter even though it fucking sucks. But he put it on him. Pause. And Cody gets in the ring. He slaps The Rock. He slaps The Rock. And Cody finally gets the tag. After Seth curb stomped The Rock, he couldn't capitalize immediately to get a cover, so he made a tag to Cody instead. Cody gets some offense in on Roman Reigns, and then eventually it becomes like a straight-up fight between Rollins, Rock, Cody, and Roman. So they're just all going at it in the ring, and Roman gets bloodied a little bit on his nose, and then Rollins and Cody go off on offense. Cody hits Roman with, Seth, I think he hits Roman with like a buckle bomb. Cody hits him with a Cody cutter. And then Cody hits Cody hits some crossroads on Roman. He hits a crossroads on Roman. And then The Rock pulls the ref out of the ring. Right? And then Roman then Roman hits a spear on Cody, but it only gets a 2 count. Right? Then Roman gets the guillotine on Cody while The Rock was holding his legs, right? And the ref, he was almost about to call it because it looked like Cody was passing out, right? Because, hey, the ref can't call the DQ because The Rock's going to fire him. So then Cody hits the stomp on Roman Reigns. Not even like on Roman, like the back of his head, on the front of his head, because he was using the guillotine. So Seth just hits the stomp on the front of his head. The Rock then gets the belt to try to use on Cody, but Cody fights back, and he hits the bionic elbow on The Rock. And the Rock fights back, and he tries to hit the people's elbow on Cody, but Cody then gets out of it and reverses it into a Cody cutter. And I kid you not, there were some boos. You could hear some boos when Cody hit the Cody cutter on The Rock, because the fans were up for The Rock. They were up for The Rock. This Philly crowd, man, this Philly crowd was ridiculous all night. Just dead for most of the night. They popped for good moments here and there. They were up for this match, especially after a certain spot we're going to get to. But booing Cody Rhodes, cheering The Rock, very interesting. Very interesting. Let me drink some water first. Juice, excuse me. But yeah, that was pretty interesting. But Cody then tries to go for a crossroads on The Rock, and then Roman hits a Superman punch. Then Roman tries to hit Cody with a spear, but then bam, he accidentally hits The Rock as Seth moves Cody out of the way. That got the biggest reaction of the match. Biggest reaction of the match. And you would think maybe it would lead to like some dissension between the two, and maybe it will eventually down the line. But in this match, they just kept going. Kept going like nothing ever happened. But yeah, Roman hits a spear on The Rock. Cody and Seth capitalize, and they both hit double pedigrees and go for the pin. And they only get a 2 count. So Seth, he goes on Roman, takes him on, and then Cody goes after The Rock. They fight outside, Cody and The Rock. Cody clears off one table, The Rock clears off the other because he fights back, and The Rock is going for a rock bottom through the table, but then Seth interferes, grabs The Rock's leg just enough for Cody to counter and hits a rock bottom on The Rock through the English announce table of Corey Graves and Michael Cole while he's leaping off the Spanish announce table. So that was a pretty cool spot. So yeah. Then actually right after that, Roman spears Seth Rollins through the barricade with the and that was a nice transition of events. So that was a nice little sequence there. Then Roman and Cody get back in the ring. Roman and Cody and The Rock get back in the ring, and then Roman hits a drive-by on Cody on the apron. But then it transitions to being Cody and Cody and Roman. And Cody and Roman, they're going back and forth, and Cody eventually hits some moves, and he hits his double crossroads. And when he's going for the third one, it kind of reminded me exactly of the spot when he hit the moves on Roman last year, right? So he hits the crossroads, and then Solo Sikoa right in that corner hits that spike. It happened just like that here, except Cody didn't go to the corner. He just went to the ropes near the announce table, that side, and The Rock hits him with the belt. Not like the championship belt, but it was like the waist trainer shit, whatever the fuck it is. But yeah, he hits him with the belt. And then Roman hits the spear. And I'm thinking Roman may be going for the pin, but instead of pinning him, The Rock says, nah, let me get that tag. The Rock tags in. Then The Rock, he's going for the rock bottom. And he nails it. He hits him with the rock bottom and the people's elbow, which I hate. I hate the people's elbow. It's just such a stupid, shitty finish. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I don't care. And The Rock wins. The Rock gets the pin on Cody Rhodes. I kid you not. The Rock pins Cody. I'm not shocked about this. I always knew it was going to happen because, one, I think Bloodline rules, it almost feels like it wouldn't be right if they just had a random standard match. It needs to be chaos. I think it's going to be overbooked to hell, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Hopefully we get like those Stone Cold and John Cena came in. Like, I'm expecting the Avengers Endgame type shit for this match. Seriously. Cody needs so much adversity to really have that championship win feel that much satisfying. And I'm going to be honest with you. If Cody doesn't win tomorrow, oh, man. Yeah, just go ahead and pack your bags. You are no longer a babyface. Actually, just sayonara. Don't even come back, pal. We're never going to take you serious as a top babyface. But this was a great match. I think it was the right outcome because, like I said, it sets up the Bloodline Rules match. And also it gives Cody more adversity. And also, I think Cody and The Rock, that's a match you could potentially do at some point. I don't know if they will, right? Because The Rock's schedule, who knows when they'll be able to get him back. I think next year, WrestleMania, he will be facing Roman Reigns, whether Roman's champion or not. But man, I'm going to be real with you, bro. That's a match I'm interested in seeing now. And I kind of would be disappointed if they don't give it to us. Seriously, I would. But I think having The Rock pin Cody here, it sets that up. It potentially sets that up in the future some more. That could be a SummerSlam match or Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, whatever big pay-per-view you want to throw that at. So, yeah, this was great. This was a great match. I enjoyed it. One of the better matches on the card, seriously. man, like I said, night one as a whole, I wouldn't say it was great. Don't think it was great. It was nowhere near what night one was last year. But hopefully night two can take us home. Hopefully night two can be a much better night consistently than they had tonight, because like I said, night one wasn't bad, but I just feel like it could have been better. It could have been better. And I feel like coming off of what night one was last year, this was kind of disappointing. Honestly, it was just kind of disappointing. Uh, but overall, like I said, decent. I would say out of 10, I'd probably give it I'd probably say like a 6 out of 10. Solid matches, but the big matches were the Sami Zayn and Gunther match and the main event tag team match. I thought the Becky and Rhea match was cool. Nice little open. Had the crowd going at the end. But everything in between those three matches was just, it was mediocre to just straight up bad, honestly. The Jay and Jimmy match was not good. The tag title match was cool. That was a good match. Nice ending. But everything else, Jay Jimmy wasn't cool. The Jade match with Naomi and Bianca had some nice moments, like the entrance, and they did their thing with, oh shit, my bad. They did their thing with the ending, trying to make Jade look strong, but the match itself wasn't really anything crazy. Andrade and Ray, that was a boring match, really not boring, but it was just standard SmackDown match until the ending with Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson. Like the middle of the card, that's really where like everything dragged down. Honestly, in my opinion, especially I think the the Jimmy and Jay match, they must have been expecting that match to be like a potential show stealer, because right afterwards they put Jade and Bianca and Naomi as if it was like a piss break match. That match was better than Jimmy versus Jay. Seriously, and that match was more of just like an angle to get Jade over. Excuse me. So yeah, WrestleMania night one, kind of mediocre, kind of. Let me not say mediocre. It was solid, because I think the way they ended the show kind of made me look at it a lot different. But I did do a poll on Twitter. I wanted to know what you guys thought about this show. Let me pull it up here. I did a poll. I asked you guys what y'all thought about this show. And here it is right here. Let me pull it up. Here it is. WrestleMania 40 night one. 59% of y'all said good. 25% said great. That shocked me. 10.9% said average, mid. And then 4.7% said trash. If you guys aren't following me on Twitter, make sure you go and do that. As you can see the name right there. And vote on the poll. I want to know what you guys thought about this pay-per-view. But yeah, good match as a whole, or good pay-per-view as a whole. I thought it was solid. I would probably give it, like I said, a 6 out of 10. I lean towards good. I'll say a good night one, hovering around like average. I'll say a little above average. A little above average. But you guys let me know your opinions down below in the comment section. I want to know what you guys think. Don't forget to like this video, like this stream. Appreciate y'all for showing out. Sorry about the first stream crashing. That just pissed me the fuck off. I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, you guys stay safe and have a blessed day. I'm out. Peace.